Hello everybody. I was making a video earlier today. Well, earlier tonight, I guess. It's fucking bullshit. I fell asleep. Fuck this world, man. That's so sad. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, man. I don't even know what to say. Today was actually a pretty shitty day, man. This girl, fucking one girl that I thought might be able to make some future with her, you know. She kind of literally dumped me, you know. I mean, I'm not that childish, it's just that, yeah, you know, the only thing that gets me is that it's just that I know it was mainly because I couldn't financially stand up to being able to help her, you know. But I think she really wanted to use me as a stepping stone to try to get, I don't know, man, that's another story, you know. I don't want to make any, because, you know, yeah, that's why I'm fucked, right? Because, you know, I'm so conscious about trying to fucking make sure what I'm doing is right that I can't get any shit done, you know. That's really, I know that better than anybody else. I'm so stuck in this whole philosophical and ethical what a miserable person, what a miserable life. And I think I was like this for a long time, man. You know, it's just that I think before, like, um, I remember even before I got this whole fucking schizophrenia, I remember, like, a few times. Well, here's the thing, you gotta understand, I come from a mentally fucked up family, you know. This is something that also contributed a lot to the onset of my issue. I mean, my brother, he's fucked. But I guess, thank God, we didn't have much of a relationship till I got here to US when I was 17. My dad was fucked. I mean, he wasn't fucked. Like, matter of fact, he was pretty darn a politician. It's just that, anyways, that's actually, I don't even, don't forget about that part. But my mom was definitely fucked up. Like, I remember both my mom and my brother, both in a very similar manner. Like, they would just, like, over nothing. Like, kind of like this girl. This is what I really want to tell you. Now, I know I'm not probably the only one, but here's what I do want to say is that I think there's something about me that makes people have a high expectation in terms of morality from me. But the part that they don't consider is that, is this guy actually capable? I mean, what I'm saying is that I don't blame them necessarily for that even. I mean, it's just, as much as it fucking fucked me up and, you know, it created problem. I mean, the word problem is not a good word. This devastated my life is that because people were portraying this image that me trying to stand up to this high standard, which I was not in position to do it. Many different channels, not only to try to provide for my sister, my mom, and, you know, everybody else, but also this whole emotional aspect of it, providing with that way, which was so fucking stupid. Like, my mom's like, I remember she was like, there was no way you can satisfy her. Like, you know, she would somehow pick up something, tell you that, oh, you did this wrong, you hurt me, you did this, like, you know, basically hysterical psycho bitch, you know, something like that. And my brother was the same thing, like a fucking gay dude, you know. He's not gay, he's straight, I think. It's just that, you know, his manner was just so... It's kind of like me now. Yeah, that's what it was. Like, all of a sudden, oh, yeah, he hurt me. Oh, you said this, Arash. You said that, Arash. You did that. And he will go on and on and on and on and on. Blah, 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 for next, and, you know, literally, at times I would just put the phone down and I would just pretend like I'm listening to her because I just couldn't. And I didn't want to hang up on him to might make him feel like shit, you know. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. I was just saying that. That's crazy, man. You know, you gotta understand, you know, long-term long-distance relationships are... There's nothing intrinsically bad about them, or, you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm sorry, let me back it up. No, what I want to say is that, but before falling for this thing, I remember when people, either way, whether they had that notion of me of being somebody who they held up to high standards or not. I mean, it was a part of that, you know, I was only 2 years old. So at that part I don't understand, because, you know, you're really expecting some young man who still, I mean, even though I didn't have that devastating condition back then, but still as a young man, and maybe it's just too much to expect from him, you know, to trying to you know, hold him up to this old crap, you know. But the part was that it also got into me so easily. I remember every time there was that thing, my response was not just a passive. It would actually make me think through it, even though, for the love of God, I was doing my best for the people, and like it was just, you know, I couldn't have any significant other in my life. I mean, I was so young back then, I wasn't even thinking that. But I'm just saying that, you know, well, yeah, they did if they meant it, they got what they wanted, because, you know, I mean, after what happened, I couldn't really have a significant. Look what happened now. Anyway, so, but back then, still, I didn't have this condition, but so I could still function and do my own life and deal with that side of my problem too, that I was so sensitive to what people said, and really, when they incriminated me, made me feel like, you know, I did something wrong in a very rather emotional way, nothing like a criminal or nothing like physically doing something wrong, you know. We're just talking about, like, you know, whatever I would, you know, I had that, and then it's still, you know, I would just do my life, and I would just get along, and matter of fact, things were not bad at all for me, you know. I was juggling school and work and everything, and, you know, if things had gone the right direction, let's say I was probably on a whole different side of spectrum, and I was doing way different than what I'm going through right now. Let's just make it simple like that. Fuck you, God, or whoever did this fucking shit. I swear to God, man, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, man, because I know this better than anybody. The way that every fucking thing in my head, every piece of different elements that I know that is contributing to what I go through, that when I think about it, it comes one thing clear to me. It's a well sophisticatedly devised, really fucking dynamic in my head, that basically it just, in the most sophisticated way, is made to destruct me and like make me, like paralyze me, like making me unable to do anything. And when I think about this doesn't sound like even schizophrenia. Like, you know, I might be wrong, but, you know, what I'm saying is that the way it seems to me is just literally somebody inflicted this on me. Like, I really believe, I don't know, through radio wave, whatever that is, they put it on me. I mean, part of it was that, you know, yeah, back then I was going through a lot of emotional shit, and I was drained out, so I had the disposition for it. It's hard to say, but the way it works out is like, and the way that it just puts me out is that it just makes me feel like so, makes that hypothesis so strong in my head that I think it's really somebody put this shit on me, like with the, you know, radio waves or whatever. Fuck, I don't know. I mean, what I'm saying is that I hope nobody injected me with it, because I don't remember anybody injecting me with anything.
Um, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't know why they did it, and it's like the reason I say radio wave is because it's a live dynamic in my head, and I feel like somebody's really with the radio waves is really you know like directing it. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know, man. It's insane. But fuck that. Whoever is doing that shit, man, to me, man. I hope one day I'll find out if this is some kind of a fucking God knows who it is. Some kind of an agency, some kind of fucking CIA shit. Whoever that is, man. I don't know what to tell you. I've suffered so much. There's no way to explain that. It's so bad. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to even think about what I've been through in the last 13 years. But anyways, getting back to what I said. So yeah, let's just talk about this girl. She, from the very beginning, she was very kind of like myself, but crazy reclusive. Like her whole theme was just like she doesn't want anybody to know about this. Like, well, except I guess her family knew about this. Her sister and her fucking mom. I only have one conversation with her, and then I don't know. All of a sudden, everything changed. Like 4 months after our relationship, like she just became a whole different. And I was sensing something that basically she does have some um, anger problems, stuff like that. Because the way I heard her talking to other people, like her brother, and stuff like that. But I didn't want to be so strong about it. I was like, you know what, that's like a family shit, And she was okay with me, so I didn't want to really make that. That's another story. I don't want to really. The reason I say these things is because I don't want ever to. Yeah, because I'm a pathetic guy. I'm always trying to do something what is right. People fuck with my head really. Without, so they put this in my head really, and yeah, it's always this guilt that you're doing something wrong, I guess, and so while you're busy, always thinking about sorting this thing out in your head, the feeling if you times after times, that's the only thing. They're going through this process. They're actually, you know, doing the same, worse than that, and they're actually, uh, you know, getting what they need from the life, being it money, being it fun, both. Pussy. I mean, how fucked up is that? This guy that I was working with is an Iranian guy. He has. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to make it really fucking shitty. I mean, I don't know. But back then, I guess I was. I don't know. Well, it just bothered me because maybe. I don't know. Okay, let me just say it. I remember like he's like he as much as he's a jackass. I mean, he's a sick man, but then again, he's not the only one. Like I mean, it's amazing how many girls are taken advantage of by. And this is. It bothers me because your body is not just because your your biology. I don't know. I'm not a female. I don't know how they feel as far as that goes. But I know even as a guy, like, well, okay, let's not talk about that. Jesus Christ. Shit. Oh boy, no, it really hurts me because it's really, I think it kind of devastates you when we live in a world that, um, in different stages, women, um, well, it gets even worse. Not only by being physically assaulted, their body being objectified. Also, they've been kind of programmed that actually that's what they need to be. I mean, well, let's not talk about America because that's. But talk about like Iranian culture, like still to this day, I think a lot of girls, because of their family, they grew up in. It's not approved of basically to go and fuck with some guy, because the idea is that if you really want somebody, sure, get married with them, get settled with them, it's just and yeah, there's tons of guilt shit there too. That's another story. My main point, I don't think if you really want to sleep with somebody, after all, you that is your thing, that's fine. But the fact that doing something after out of fucking because you're trying to get yourself somewhere, being at getting a job, getting paid, getting money, getting yourself in that position, like with this girl Marianne, like it was just this is part like really, she's the girl that I'm telling you. Just strike me a few minutes later. I was like, you know what? I feel bad because she's not the only one, and I'm obviously as a guy even I'm actually the victim of the same fucking same exact phenomena, but in a different way. But yeah, I'm a victim of it too. So many different directions. But for instance, why did I have to go through this whole journey and pain of coming to America and making minimum wage and trying to do whatever in my power, trying to juggle all this thing just so I can get an education, all this shit? Why? Why didn't have to have the luxury of growing up in a very civilized country with tons of that I'm so proud of, and I totally identify with my Persian, background, basically, I wish people would fucking stop driving these trucks, man. It's so fucking sickening, man. You don't know how fucked my head. And that truck right now, that's actually not too bad because its lights are not that whole fluorescent. It's not like that. That really fucked my brains out, man. If he had one of those lights, or maybe he did. I don't know. But I don't know. You drive these trucks around, and I say that because you never see that anywhere else in the world. Anywhere else, people you go in the world, people are driving small cars, highly gas efficient. People literally don't drive their cars because they don't have money for gas, because gas is so expensive in those countries. In America, instead of spending the money to subsidize and discount gasoline, to spend that, instead of spending that money on fucking, we're just basically in this spiral of fucking trying to make money, and as a side effect of this whole out of control engine, we don't give a shit if whoever ends up becoming on the street and whoever gets fucked because of that, whoever gets laid off, whoever gets fucked with it, we don't give a shit. That is your problem. If you can't put yourself together, fuck you. Obviously you're not a man. You can't really, your genes are weak. So yeah, we just this whole thing, and we are trying to fuel that thing by trying to give people pushing them to buy cars and spend money, and that's incentive to get the basically highly subsidized gasoline. And instead of using that money to try to basically take care of the people who are needy, at least directly, indirectly, and they're victim of this whole massive push for for advancement or technological, I don't know, trying to get up there. I don't know where's the up there, just trying to race to the other galaxy, basically, So we don't care about that. We don't put our money there, but we put that money there. Now, in some European countries, they've used that money that they have as tax or whatever to try to take care of the society, the very humans who need to really get that. And also they put a high tax on gasoline, try to make everything like a social cause, basically, and they're so right. Transportation is something that, I don't blame people for wanting to have a car. That's okay if you want to buy a car, but use it like if you really need it, you know? Anyways, so many different things to talk about. Can you believe it? It's 12 o'clock right now. I feel like it's fucking 3 o'clock at night. I can't go anywhere because I'm fucked. Because I think you don't believe me, because I think they're after me. Like, and if I go to some fucking store, literally, it's like I'm surrounded. Like I'm actually in a Target. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Being outside and outdoor, that's just at least to be in an open area. Crazy, right? That's what it is. It's a crazy state of mind. Yeah, just bother me because as much as I have speculations about Mariam, I don't want to give it any thought. But basically, what bothers me is that is she gonna turn into some means that maybe is beneath her? But at some point she doesn't care either, because she's like, I'm 32, 33, fuck, man, I need to get. She tells me she's a virgin. I like to believe that. That's fine. But I'm thinking that maybe, be it one time, twice, whatever. I'm not saying her even necessarily, but a lot of girls, who especially happen to be attractive, maybe they're like, you know what? If I can use that to try to, ultimately my goal in life is happiness. Sure, why not? If some dude is willing to give me money for it, I derive some pleasure from it. He gets some pleasure from it. Why not? And I'm actually getting rich off of it. Cause of crap. And here I am, actually. Well, this is what happened today, and she's right about this. But anyways, no, it's just bothering me because she just told me today clearly. She was saying this for some times now, but today she really just blasted out. She said, don't call me again, don't ever call me again, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And she said, I can't trust you. Every time, in the last minute you fucking bail out on me. I know, like, sounds like a typical fucking, shitty life in America, right? Yes, everywhere. Wherever there's a money problem, somehow, there's the exact same words coming out. Now, this really started from the point that she told me that basically she wants. Well, first she called me today saying that, Arash, can you give me some money? Like, I said, I don't have anything. I really don't have anything. Listen, I'm still trying to work my paperwork out. I'm working my social security shit. Speaking of this social security, man, that was another thing fucking really got to my head today. It was like, you know what? Basically, they cut my benefit about a year ago. And at some point they told me that they will reinstate it if I just do some, fill something out, which I did. But after I did that, then they came out and saying, no, that's not enough now. You have to also go to the doctor to get re-examined. At that point, it was like a really setback for me. I was like, well, 3 times, 4 times I called you guys. You told me repeatedly, you said all I need to do is do this, and after that you will do it. And they said, nope, sorry, well, we don't set the rules. Anyways, however, after 5, 6 times, so many times, I think so many times I called them. Finally, I called the actual office, the field office, if you will, and there was a woman who, she said, okay, well, you know what, I'm going to release some of the payments. They were supposed to give me $8,000. Now, what happened is that they give me $8,000, but instead of giving me like the whole thing in one increment or one disbursement, they gave me $3,000 first, and then they keep on giving it to me every month. And there's one last one. Still, there's another 1,000 left out of that game. I've gotten already 7,000 collectively. But today I was thinking to myself, said, man, fuck you people, man. If you had given me that money, same shit. What is the difference? You want to give something? I mean, it's not like it's a bank, right? It doesn't matter to you all, right? It's not like, well, I guess maybe it does matter to them. But it's so everything is so vicious, man. It's just like everything's like a plot to try to destroy me. If they fuck you, Social Security, man, you sick bastard. Especially you tell somebody. I don't know if I even like, and if you talk to a lawyer, it's funny is that, and I think they're really meant to set you back. I've had so many cases where they literally, if I reached out to a lawyer about something and I knew I have a case, because it just doesn't sound right, they will tell you, oh, you might have a case even, but I'm sorry, we can't help you. And 2 years, 3 years passes by, somehow you find some guy who might be willing to work you out, or whatever, and he tells you, yeah, well, you know what, you do have a case, but sorry, dude, it's too late, you can't pursue it. And he goes like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So this is a part, and I'm not in a position, right, the richest get richer because whenever they have some issues, legal issues, they can afford to go into the court and try to pay the fees, and after time, and the poor people who really need that little money, I can't believe it still, man. It really hurts me so bad. That woman, I had an accident. I'm not complaining, you know what, actually I'm happy because I've had so awful situations where at least for good or bad I'm healthy to this day. No, but then again, it's funny. She came out of her car. She wasn't aching. She seemed totally normal, and that was what I was expecting, anyways. Because it wasn't like I fucking slam into her from fucking with 40 miles an hour. I was sitting at a stop sign, and somehow I saw her car passing, but I don't know. I think she pulled back off the shoulder. And I guess that's really what happened, because I saw her car actually going. But let's say I was totally wrong. I don't know. All I know is that once I pulled off the stop sign, she was there. That's another story. I'm not talking about that. I'm just trying to give you an idea that damage-wise to her, body-wise, body injury, what are we talking about? She came out. She was perfectly fine. She seemed fine. She wasn't aching. Maybe she should have thrown some, but I guess she didn't need that. She went and talked to a lawyer, apparently. Next thing you know, the insurance company told me that they gave her $65,000 for body injury. She said, yeah, she got a lawyer, she got an attorney on her case that is working on it, and they squeezed $65,000. And I'm dealing with just some money that I really need and I'm entitled to. I've worked in this country for good or bad for 5 years, and I pay taxes as part of that. I'm entitled to that. A lot of people come to this country, matter of fact, to be all frank with you, my father, my mom, they never worked. They never worked in America. But because they have some, I guess, debilitating condition, they qualify for the money, and they're getting it. They don't even have anything close to me. My mom is not even, well, I guess now she is, but before that she wasn't 65 even. And she started getting it because the doctor said she has those things. Man, I have fucking schizophrenia, man. How fucked up is that, man? And they cut my paperwork out because guess what? My mom, she actually has a place where she can get mail. This is the irony of this fucked up system, man. Where somebody who is so fucked up, and the people who have really serious issues, they don't have the money, they don't have the resources, and they don't have the mentality to maintain a house. So instead of trying to help these people out, create a system for them so they don't have to deal with that scenery, and they can still receive their correspondence and they can fucking keep their benefits, they fail to get it. But the people who have actually, now my mom, she's not crazy. She's just like me, kind of. She's very intelligent, and also bits, well, more on the vicious and malicious side too. That's another thing of her. But the thing is that her conditions are not debilitating to the point that she can't function. Matter of fact, she does a lot of cleaning around the house. Her jaw is always moving, talking shit all time. You know, she takes care of the baby. She takes care of my niece. She takes care of my nephew. She does all the work. You know, matter of fact, that's only one of the reasons why my sister, in spite of all the shit talk and fights they have, she wants her to be there because, you know, after all, if we, you know, she really needs my mom. Even that my sister's husband, you know, they have a lot of fucking problem with each other. They hate each other's gut, but that man, after all, knows that, you know, she really needs this woman to be in her house. Anyways, long story short, man, she gets her social security. I don't get it because she has a house. She can stay in a house, and she has her daughter that cares enough to try to go through her mail, but mine, nobody gives a fuck. You know, I don't have a house. At some point I moved to Florida and I had to change my address anyways. This is the irony of this amazing system in America. Oh, and the best part, when I didn't go to my exam, doctors basically that they put for me, 2 days later they just crossed me off just like that. Instead of sending you another letter or something like that, trying to set you up with another one, just like that. I mean, come on, are you serious? How fucked up this system is? You know, I mean, come on. You know these people who come and getting this kind of benefit, they have fucked up brain, man. Come on. You know, this doesn't even fucking make sense by any means. Anyways. So yeah, main thing is that, you know, if they had given me this $8,000, I could at least use that money. Sure, I could have just, you know, bought a ticket. I could have gone to some country, like, you know, somewhere, I don't know, Turkey. Well, I really wanted to go to Turkey, but some other place. And I could have paid for her to come over there. We could have met each other, and we could have made this something happen. You know, that together, that one sum of money, $8,000 or some shit, it could have helped us out a lot. And yeah, if we decided we want to marry each other at that point, and we did get married, I would have been more than happy to give her like maybe $2,000-$3,000 off of that money. I wouldn't even care coming back to America back again. How would life would be for me? I wouldn't care. You know, because let's face it, part of what I go through really is not really always, you know, just like when I was making this video tonight. Well, speaking tonight, yeah,